Good morning and welcome to Aberdeen, which is hosting the first Global Agritourism Conference. Delegates from around the world, from every continent except Antarctica, are here to exchange knowledge, share experience and learn how agriculture and tourism can combine to benefit both farmers and visitors. This is a conference with a difference because the delegates will be doing the usual stuff, listening to presentations and joining workshops later today. But before that, they had the chance to get hands-on insight into the way agritourism works here in Scotland. I'm here at Marshall's Farm Shop and Kitchen, which used to be a roadside veg stall and has turned into quite an emporium. The delegates are all inside, looking at the things on sale and listening to how it's produced.
About one beast or cattle per fortnight. We were probably half a lamb a week, and now we're at the stage of we've got 3 or 4 cattle per week. 4 to 6 pigs, but it's very much growing. We don't actually have enough pigs. We're trying to really push that on to get more pork for the shop. And we're probably about 2 lambs a week.
Well, I'm here with Kenneth Marshall and Christine Marshall, father and daughter.
Yes.
How did it start?
Well, we started selling potatoes and vegetables at the roadside on a self-service carbon. We were milking cows at the same time. To be honest with the self-service carbons, we're doing better than the milking 400 cows. So we realised that we needed to look at the retail side and try and retail our own produce.
This is way bigger than most farm shops.
It's done way more than we had ever expected it to do. Obviously there's a huge gap in the market for it. We didn't realise how big a gap it was. We built the butchery and bakery shed, and then we opened the drive-through. So we've got a drive-through. So we opened it in November 23, the play park. So that was a gift shop as well. I think that's covered everything at the moment, doesn't it?
Is this agritourism?
Yeah, definitely. 100%, to get people in, to get the story that Shona's just shared there with the butchery. They get to feel the story. They see the cows in the park while they're eating their lunch. They get to see the lambs. Christmas, the Christmas thing. We've got the reindeer up the road. So
Sorry, the reindeer up the road?
The deer.
The deer. So we tell the kids it's reindeer.
How important is the connection between the local production, the actual farming, and what you're selling?
Very important. The supermarkets used to worry about the supermarkets now. We don't care nothing about supermarkets now. They don't annoy us. We do our own thing. We are doing something that they can't do.
Well, we're off again to the next farm visit, which is an organic dairy just outside Aberdeen, surrounded by rolling green hills. The sun is shining and the delegates here will be able to see a dairy in operation. And as we come in, we can see picnic tables, slides, a playground, the cows right next door in the field, Holstein Friesian cows. So as we walk up to Forest Farm, there are planters here with lots of summer plants in. There's a model cow. The umbrellas here are black and white in the shape of cow colours. There's a little area here where you can actually watch milking live. You can look through the window and see the parlour. When the cows are in there, you can see them being milked. One of the people who's part of the Global Agritourism Network is Hans Embacher. Now, Hans, you run a business called Holidays on the Farm in Austria. How does it work in Austria?
Well, in Austria, farm holidays is quite an important part of the tourism industry and agriculture. We have about 7,000 farms who offer a total of 74,000 guest beds. And this is very popular in Austrian tourism and also pays a good contribution to the economic development of agriculture in rural regions.
How many people are visiting farms then?
Per year we have a total of about 1.5 million visitors. They stay overnight at least one night. About 60% of our visitors are families with children.
And what do they want?
Those who visit our farms actually want to see real life. They want to experience the farmers' work. They want to discuss with the farmers, why do you do it, how do you do it? And of course they are critical as well. So we have a very transparent production. We don't have any intensive farming amongst our members. So the guests do not want to see 3,000 pigs on the farm. So they like more the ideal farm, which we have in Austria, as the farms are very small.
Is that a problem, that they're not seeing the real farming, which can be intensive?
Well, we cannot solve all the problems of agriculture. We give them an idea what farming is like, could be like. In Austria, about 24% of all farmers work organic. So people have a chance to see real farming on a small scale. The average size of a farm is something like 23 hectares, which is less than a third of a UK farm. So the farms are small and need to generate their income. And it works with the combination of their farming work and agritourism. But in their heart, they are farmers. They love their work and they want to stay on the farm.
Has it made a difference to the perception of the public and the consumer about farming? Has this made any difference to the way people think about food?
I think it's good for the image of the farming world, of farmers as a whole. Those people who have been on the farm tend to buy more farming produce from the farmers in a market in Vienna or somewhere in Germany. So they know which work is behind it. And this doesn't happen in any other industry, that you have 1.5 million consumers actually spending their holidays with the producer. And here they come together. So we also understand ourselves as the ambassadors of the farming world.
Well, I'm with Caroline Millar, who is sector lead for Scottish Agritourism. You've been organising the conference. Scotland and England, Northern Ireland and Wales all devolved on agriculture. What are the challenges for farmers?
I think the challenges are particularly access to funding. We've seen some of the challenges around profitability in this sector with rising costs, things that we've had to absorb like national insurance, business rates going up. But I still think there's good opportunities for people with a good idea in a niche market who really understand their market to do very well in agritourism and farm retail. The main reason that I wanted to bring this global conference to Scotland was we've got 12 countries presenting over the next few days about their stats, how they grew, what their current visitor numbers are in agritourism, what is the economic impact of agritourism in 12 different countries and how have they got there. And there's so much to learn. So we're taking the knowledge transfer that we currently do between farmers to an international level.
I've noticed that quite a few people here are women. Mm-hmm. Is this just a side hustle that the wife does on the farm, or is it more than that?
I grew up on a farm where my mum and my gran next door both did farmhouse bed and breakfast. I think traditionally it's maybe been seen as, the wife earning a few more, some holiday money on the side. But some of these businesses are significant businesses. They are turning over, not all of them, but many will be turning over £500,000. Some of them are turning over 2 million, employing up to 70 full-time people.
Lisa Hogan, the partner of Jeremy Clarkson, is speaking at your conference. They've just recently launched a website where farmers can join in and offer experiences on the farm. How do you think that's going to work?
So I do think that it's definitely a growing area of consumer demand to come onto a farm and have an experience. It is really important that it's done in a safe way, not just for the consumer, but also for the farmer who doesn't want to have any issues on the farm. People are wanting to go and meet a real person, speak to a real farmer, have an experience. We've got another example of a farmer who grows oats, who's now doing an oatcake making class down in the Scottish borders, where we'll have 10 people round the kitchen table making oatcakes, then eating the delicious oatcakes with local cheese and then taking some home. So this is where we're going. Absolutely, it's about experience in food and drink, and people will pay for those experiences too.
Caroline Millar, sector lead for Scottish Agritourism.
My name is Panduranga Taure from Agritourism India.
My name is Natalia Venherska. I'm from Ukraine but living here in United Kingdom.
I'm Nicola Micheli from Italy, PhD student in agriculture in Italy.
Hello, my name is Charlotte Wasilic and I'm a farmer in Alberta, Canada.
All four of you have seen some of the local agritourism here in Scotland, and we're here at Forest Farm, which is an organic dairy farm where you can actually see the cows being milked and then you can buy your ice cream. So far, what's your sort of impression of what you've seen?
My impression is absolutely good because it is helping them to brand their farm to the urban areas, and also it is helping city people to see the farm where the milk comes from, and that is, I think, a wonderful experience.
In India, is there agritourism? Is it big?
Yeah, and that is what world thinks of, because India has more than 3,000 farms doing agritourism activities for last 25 years. And the school students, we have made it compulsory for one educational tour to agritourism farms.
So you've had help from the government there?
Yes, we have help from government, we have policies in place.
Nicola, how does this compare with Italy? Because Italy has had a long tradition of agritourism.
I would say accommodation is a lot more prevalent where I live in terms of agritourism, farms hosting guests as well as serving food. I live now in the Dolomites region. It's always been a touristy region, even before agritourism was developed. It's still important to see how this sector is developing at other paces and in other territories, and also learn from them, because it's not perfect also at home.
Natalia, obviously Ukraine is not in a position at the moment to offer agritourism, but here you are in the UK working on it, ready for when it can happen.
Yeah, but it's for international visitors. But inside country, like domestic tourism is pretty developed now, because rural tourism, including agritourism, became like medicine for people, for recovery, for rehabilitation, especially for people who struggle under the war, especially from front line, because people need rest, they need peace, and only rural area could offer that for now.
Charlotte, how different is agritourism in Canada to here?
Where we are, there is no public transportation for a long, long ways, and something like this isn't even fathomable. And I think that Scotland and the rest of the UK has really laid the framework for us to be able to do that. We're in the province of Alberta, which is very famous for the Rocky Mountains and the Badlands, and really that gets all the big press attention when it comes to touring Alberta. And we do have an incredible amount of tourists, but I think now the more that people realize about agritourism, and you can go and see massive herds of cattle on beautiful rolling landscapes, and so capitalizing on that. For us, sharing this story on social media is very important, and Forest Farm really exemplifies that with the window that you can look in and watch the cows being milked, and then you go grab the milk. So everything tells a story and everything is connected, and I think that's really important. And not only are the visitors who are coming to various farms are being connected, but now we're all connected. So then when I go to India or Ukraine or Italy, then I know someone there, and it just creates a stronger agritourism community across the world.
That's all from us today. I'm Anna Hill. The producer was Rebecca Rooney. Farming Today is a BBC Bristol audio production.